What's up, folks? Hope you guys are enjoying this boat mod stuff I'm doing. I'm in the middle of another project. My buddy Jerry's over here helping me out. We've did the switch panel and we did the hatch, and today we're going to start working on the Livewell. So what I'm going to do is I bought a Livewell pump. You can see right here, Livewell pump. And I'm getting ready to drill a hole in the side of my boat, which is always fun. So this is a Livewell pump. Got a Livewell pump here. This is going to be your intake, and this actually has the option for 2 positions. You can go straight through right here, or you can go at a 90, and I'm going to go at a 90 based on what I'm trying to do. And then this is your outflow right here. You got your wires to hook up to power. I'm also going to be running a recirculation pump. Just a bilge pump. This is actually one that came with the boat and I took it off, and I'm going to be setting it in the bottom of the Livewell, and it's going to draw water through here and out this tube, and I'm going to have this tube mounted along the top, and I'm going to drill a bunch of small holes, so I'm going to have like a little spray bar basically. So let's get started. This pump requires a 1-inch hole saw, so I'm going to have to make a 1-inch cut in the side of my boat. That matches up perfect. And you need to be about 2 inches or so below the water line. It's real important. That way, when you're standing in the boat, your intake valve is below the water line, so you can suck in water from the lake. So I'm going to look and see where I need to put this pump at. Okay, so what I'm trying to do is figure out where I want to put this pump at. It needs to be a couple inches below the water line. I'm kind of looking on the outside of the boat and I see a mud line, so I know I'm well below the water line. But I also want to leave enough room to put this recirculation pump in here. I'd like it to be nice and out of the way in the corner. And I think right here is going to be just about perfect. You know, if I've got about 10 inches of water in the Livewell, this power, where the power goes into the pump, is still going to be out of the water. I'm going to silicone all this, but I would still like to minimize the amount of time that this is underneath the water. So kind of getting it low enough to suck up water, but high enough so that the power supply is out of the water. Okay, that looks good. I'm going to take my Sharpie and I'm going to just trace around the outside of this thing. Give me a starting point.
But you know, today is probably one of those days you can fish you could probably catch a few, and then you know you might catch one big one that just came up.
Yeah, it just kind of pulled up.
Yeah.
When I'm drilling with this hole saw, I like to have an actual powered saw instead of a cordless. This thing's got a lot more torque. This is a extra heavy duty skill saw. That's scary, drilling a hole in your boat. Let's take a look on the other side, see what we got. Yep, there is a hole in there. So I'm gonna clean that up, slide that fitting through there, see what we got. Fingers crossed. So that hole saw is kind of a rough cut. I've got a little bit of an edge right here. I'm gonna go ahead and clean this up with a file, get it ready to silicone. I'll clean up the inside of this too while I'm doing it. All right, we got the hole drilled. Everything looks good. I kind of got it cleaned up, got it filed down. The next thing we're gonna do is clean up outside of it before we put some silicone in there. So I just like to use rubbing alcohol and paper towels, and I'll just go around and get all the grease and grime and stuff off of there, so we can have a nice clean seal. All right, I've got my tube in there, and I got some Star Bright silicone. Another shout out to Luke Duncan. I'm gonna go ahead and run this through there and snug everything down, and I'll use some silicone on the outside on that nut before I snug it up. Okay, I've got my hole through fitting coming out the side of the boat. Got this nut on there, and I'm not gonna actually silicone it and mount it yet because I want to put a screen, like a filter screen, and I didn't buy one. So what I'll do is when I go to mount this, I'll get this nut really close. I'll use some silicone all this in there real good. Tighten this down. And then I'll cut this off about, you need to leave about a ½ inch for that screen to go over there. But I want to get that screen first before I make any cuts. And once I tighten this all down with the silicone in there, I'll put that screen on there, and then it's just a matter of wiring it to some switches. Okay, I just got back from Academy. Ran and bought this mesh strainer so I can keep any kind of particles from getting sucked into that pump. I wasn't going to do it, but it's a really good idea. So we're going to measure this off and see where I need to cut this fitting off and screw this on there. All right, it looks like this strainer is about 1.25 inches. So here's my nut, and I'm going to measure off here about 1 inch because I want this to sit up against here as tight as possible. So we're going to go ahead and make a mark here and cut this off at 1 inch. That looks good. I think that's gonna work. So I'm gonna back this nut off. I'm gonna go ahead and silicone. I'm gonna clean it up again and go ahead and silicone the inside and right here. I went ahead and put a bead of silicone around the inside of this, even though it has a rubber gasket. Probably didn't need to, but I might as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and put some silicone on this before I close it up. I usually over silicone things. So now I'm going to reach inside and grab the pump and hold it like I want and just hand tighten this. Now I'm going to go get a crescent wrench so I can snug it. Clean this silicone up and make it look really nice. You can just take a little paper towel or cloth or something and just put some water on it, like a damp rag, damp towel, whatever. And you can just go around the outside of that. Gives it a nice finished look. There we go. Now let's put our screen on there and see what it looks like. Fits perfect. I'm probably gonna put a little bit of silicone tape on here, or I might put some, actually I'll probably just put a little silicone on the threads just to keep this from backing off. I don't want to glue it on there. I want to be able to unscrew it. Show you what it looks like from the inside. Got the pump vertical. My water line will come up to about right here. And this should be above the water line most of the time. And I've got two options on this water discharge. If I leave it like that, it's just going to shoot over here and it'll probably splash up. So I've got this fitting here. It's just a 90. And I'm thinking about putting it like this, just having it spray towards the middle of the live well. Or I've got this piece of tubing that I can place on here, and then that way it'll spray down. And I can actually drill little holes in this to get a good spray. And so I'm probably gonna go with this. So that's it, guys. That's how I installed my live well pump in my new John boat. And I'm gonna put a recirculation pump in there. Appreciate your time. I hope you're liking these mod videos I'm doing. I got several more to come. Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe if you haven't and share it. And until next time.